Hey everybody, this is Diego from freebuy26.com, and today I'm going to show you how I bought my first property. I never really knew that I was going to be in real estate until I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That book changed my mindset and it showed me how I could build wealth and passive income through real estate. I read the book while I was in college. I went to school at Florida State University, and in 2012, I graduated with 2 bachelor's degrees. Fortunately, I got a job with General Motors right as I was graduating, and I got the opportunity to move to Austin, Texas. I took the opportunity, and by January 2013, I moved to Austin. I was super excited for this opportunity, and I made sure that I kept my expenses low while I still had a pretty good income. While I was living in Austin, I began to see what kind of opportunities I had to buy my first house. First, I located the area that I wanted to live at, which was somewhere close to work so that I didn't have to commute and spend a lot of time driving. The second thing that I did was look for a loan officer so that we could talk about what opportunities or what programs I could qualify for. A lot of people think that they need 20% down to buy their first property, the home that they want to live in, but they don't. You can get into a property with an FHA loan by just putting 3.5% down, or a conventional loan putting 5% down. So it's not that much, but it still gives you, you still need to save some money and have enough for some closing costs, which I will explain in another video. Once I found out about the programs, the third thing was to find a realtor. While talking with the loan officer to see how much I could actually qualify for, he gave me a pre-qualification letter for a little bit around $140,000. So we began to look at properties with Victor Nino in the area that I wanted to live in. We found a home, we put it under contract, and we started the buying process. I was all excited because I was gonna invest, or I was gonna buy my first home, and what I wanted to do was a strategy I call house hacking, which is basically where you buy a 3 or a 4 bedroom home and you live in the master, but you rent out the other rooms for some income so that your roommates can pay for your mortgage payment. I will definitely be creating a video on this because that is a great topic. As the days went on, because it usually takes about 30 to 35 days to close on a property if you're getting a loan, the loan officer continued asking me to deliver him documents, and he asked me for one last document, which was my paperwork from immigration, my green card or something to show how I was here in the United States. Unfortunately, I didn't have it. The loan officer decided that I couldn't qualify for the loan, and we had to terminate the offer. And that, my friends, was devastating because for me, it meant that I couldn't get a loan for any other house or any other property. And my goal to own 10 properties by the age of 35, at this point I was 22, was gone. I called one of my mentors. His name was Adam Carroll, and I also called my dad. And they told me to keep my chin up and to get creative and to find other ways to invest in real estate. So that's what I did. In talking with my dad for a couple of weeks, we decided that one of the ways that we could get a house is by buying one cash. In Florida, houses are a lot cheaper, especially in the area that my dad was living in, which was in Bradenton, Florida. We talked about how much money we each had saved, and fortunately, by this time around September of 2013, I've had around 9-10 months out of college, and I was already an adult working in corporate America. I had around $25,000 saved, which was pretty good because I worked in my job and I did websites on the side, and I just hustled on the side, and that got me to save a little bit extra money. So in talking with my dad, we made it happen, and we agreed to buy a property and go 50-50 partners. We found a couple of homes online. My dad went through the properties, and he was able to find a house that was $65,000 and it could rent for $950 or $1,000. We decided to submit an offer, and we got it under contract for $60,000 cash. Now, keep in mind that my dad and I, at this point, each of us had around $25,000, and we needed to find the next $10,000 to get to the closing table. We began to look at our options, and one of them was to borrow the money from one of my buddies. His name is Pascal. And with that, we were able to close on the property, and my gosh, it was awesome. We actually were able to rent the house for $1,100 a month. Now, a few months in, the daughter of the mom that was living there, she was an adult, and she asked my dad if he had another rental, an apartment just for her. My dad told her that he didn't, but my dad, always thinking about opportunities and creative ways, he told her, what if we were able to turn the garage into an efficiency? She agreed, and we started working on that. A month later, we actually lowered the price of the house where the mom and the other son were living. We lowered the rent from $1,100 to $900, and we rented the efficiency to the daughter for $400. So at the end of the day, even though we bought a 3-1, we converted it into a 3-1 and an efficiency with another bathroom, and we were able to get a total of $1,300. Now that, my friends, it's a pretty good return. So even though I didn't buy my first property the way that I wanted to in Austin, Texas, I didn't let that obstacle stop me, but I looked for different ways to make it happen, and I decided to partner up so that I can get to my goals quicker. So that is the story of how I bought my first property at the age of 23. If you do have any questions, feel free to send me an email to diego@freeby26.com, or check out my website, freeby26.com, to get more tips on how you can achieve financial freedom.